You lazy, worthless cat. You tore down all the lining on my fence just so you can make yourself a little gnat bed. You don't live here. You haven't lived here for years. Get out of here. Go away. For this video, we will be evaluating the 2017 Honda Accord. I had no idea I was getting a fuel saver hybrid, but that's good because I have lots of driving to do. There's nothing eye-catching about the styling here. Your typical generic Japanese shape, but it does look good with this nice blue paint and those fancy wheels. This hybrid system uses a gasoline engine combined with a large battery pack and 2 electric motors, which eventually produces 212 horsepower. The claimed fuel economy is very high at 49 mpg in the city, 47 on the highway, and 48 mpg combined in mixed city highway driving. I've driven about every hybrid combination on the market. I would think in the real world driving we're going to see closer to 40 mpg, but no, we'll see. But as always, one of the first things we do when we get a test vehicle is take it out at night and test out the headlights to see how they perform. And these are some strange looking bulbs there. So I can't wait to see how these work. So let's do that right now. Okay, it's dark enough, so we'll test these fancy headlights, and I'm getting a lot of glare on the lens from these. Should be interesting. Here we have the headlights on a wall 100 feet away. Very bright, reasonable cutoff. Here are the brights. Plenty of light here too. Here we have the high beams on a building 300 feet away. More than enough light. Go down to low beam. Just barely reaches out. Bright along the way. More than adequate for city use. No complaints here. Driving down dark alleys, you can see the headlights are more than sufficient. Next, we're going to take a peek inside the cabin. We're also going to list some minor complaints we had, and most of those are inside the cabin, or inside the vehicle. Number 2, we do get a roomy trunk, although not as roomy as the standard Honda because you got to put a battery and other gizmos somewhere. But there is no spare tire, so if you get a flat, you're kind of screwed. Not a big problem for me because I do have a tire repair kit, 2 air pumps, lots of stop leak. If you're going out of town, I suggest you get something like this, or you might get stranded. Next, and this is my biggest complaint, while the sun visors can swing off to the side, they don't slide left and right, so you have a big gap on the windshield here where the sun can come in and bake your face early in the morning and late in the afternoon. If you live in Alaska, this won't be a problem. If you live in the desert like me, your face is going to get baked like a potato. Honda could fix this at a stroke of a pen, but they just refuse to do so. If you live in a hot climate, you might have to tint these windows, at least in the summertime. Another gripe has to do with the stereo and navigation system because there are no knobs. Everything is finger touch. And trying to adjust the volume with a stinky little... Doing this when you're sitting, perhaps. Doing this when you're driving, hey folks, it doesn't work. Not with the car bouncing around. And if you're wearing gloves, forget it. In all fairness, there is a volume knob on the steering wheel, which also allows you to change channels. But this is the high-end car. I don't think they offer this on the base Accord. In any case, we need knobs. Nothing works better than knobs. And I talked to a Honda rep about this, and he told me that sometime in 2017 they will convert back to knobs, but they haven't done it yet. I hope they are. Now that's the end of the gripe list, so we'll take a look at the more positive features. The second row seating is more than adequate for 2 adults. Unlike most Japanese cars where the leather looks and smells like plastic, this looks and smells like real leather. A very nice aroma, so someone at Honda did a great job on this. Smells good. We get a nice looking gauge cluster with useful information. On the upper dash, more information we can use. The climate control has simple buttons, large enough to use with gloves. A medium-sized glove box. And we actually do have a sport mode button for aggressive driving. Sort of an odd feature to have in a hybrid. In case you're wondering where this Accord is made, it tells you on the window sticker. Unusually though, 70% of the parts come from either Canada or the USA, yet the entire vehicle is assembled in Japan. Kind of a weird way to go, but it explains the excellent workmanship. This is a very tight vehicle, no rattles, no workmanship issues. A very nice tight car, which I would expect from Honda. Okay, enough talking, now it's time to do some driving. With 212 horsepower pulling 3,600 pounds, I don't expect this to be a rocket in the 0 to 60 time, but keep in mind there's a lot of torque coming from this electric motor, which provides excellent throttle response. So I'm figuring 0 to 60 in just under 7 seconds. We're going to cheat. Put it in the sport mode. Well, it's certainly fast enough. Nice brakes. Now to test the ride comfort, we're going to take some speed bumps doing 25 to 30 miles per hour. Bump number 1. Heard it but didn't feel it. Bump number 2. Bump number 3. Here's a nasty one. Heard it but didn't feel it. This is a very smooth riding car. Next, we'll try out our turning circle. Got a bit of body lean, but we're not spinning out, which is surprising because these are rather soft tires, which you always find on hybrid cars. I'm told this steering is electric, which normally would generate a lot of complaints, but actually it has pretty good feel. I have no gripes. For the rest of this video, we're going to concentrate on fuel economy only, but there are 2 things you need to know first. If you look at reviews that other people have done on this vehicle, there's 2 problems. Number 1, they really don't test the car for fuel economy. They just list what's on the window sticker, which tells you absolutely nothing. Or number 2, they purposely drive slower than normal so they can get the best fuel economy for their readers or viewers. Like 10 miles under the speed limit, no passing anybody. No, we don't do that here. We're going to drive this car like we would any other car. If the speed limit is 75 miles per hour, we're going to do 75. If we have to pass, we're going to pass. If we're in a hurry, we're going to jump from the stoplight, not creep like a snail. In other words, real world driving. No phony, no fake, la-la land fuel economy figures from me. Just the real stuff. So let's get started. This is our first fuel economy test. 56 miles on the expressway doing around 65 miles per hour, 39.2 mpg. This is our second fuel economy test. We added 26 miles of heavy city driving onto the previous mileage for a total of 81.7 miles, still at 39.2 mpg. By the way, this is an excellent highway cruiser. Very comfortable suspension, low wind noise. And there's another feature I've noticed. There is a camera in the right outside mirror. And you activate the right turn signal, you get a very nice view of what's behind you. Here we go, 60 miles, averaging 75 miles per hour on the freeway, 37.6 mpg. Keep in mind the hybrid system really isn't working at highway speeds. It works better in city driving. For the most part, we were just driving on the gas engine, so this mileage is more than adequate. Okay, this is our last fuel economy test. I did 27.7 miles in heavy 5 o'clock traffic, starting at 65 miles per hour and finally going down to 30 miles per hour. 44.5 mpg. So yes, we can reach a good figure, but this is the exception and not the norm. In fact, our entire test was 446.8 miles, averaging 36.1 mpg. That's 1/3 city, 2/3 freeway. That's our official count, folks. By comparison, this Toyota Avalon hybrid we tested last year got 39 mpg overall. This Toyota Prius hybrid got 41 mpg overall. This Hyundai Sonata hybrid we reviewed this year averaged 36 mpg. This Acura NSX hybrid we had only got 17 mpg, but okay, it doesn't count. If you can afford $200,000 for a car, you're not worried about fuel economy, right? And last but not least, this Ford Fusion hybrid we tested last month averaged 37 mpg overall. So I would say the mileage we got off of this Honda Accord is pretty much in the ballpark. Here's the bottom line, folks. I've driven almost every hybrid sedan there is out there, and the true mileage around 36 to 42 mpg is what you're really going to see. Which isn't bad. It's far better than 25 to 26 mpg you usually see off the 4-cylinder versions that are non-hybrids. Bottom line, if anyone's telling you they're getting 49 mpg off their hybrid car, they're either lying to you or they're driving the vehicle down a mine shaft. Either way, it's not going to happen. In the meantime, if you're looking for a hybrid sedan, this Honda is definitely worth looking at because it's a Honda and it will run forever long after the warranty goes out. And the price tag of $36,000 for this particular vehicle is reasonable considering all of the equipment we get, especially that nice smelling leather. So if you're looking for a hybrid sedan, this Honda Accord is definitely worth looking at. Here's another hybrid sedan I enjoy driving, the Ford Fusion version. If you'd like to see that test, the link for that video is right here. Just click and watch.